Hi, everyone, and welcome back to this week's Squadcast episode with the Sexy Wookiees. We are reading Thrawn by Timothy Zahn. And this week we are covering chapters 16 through 20. It's your simp, Sexy 2.
Hey, your girl, Sexy 1.
It's your boy, Sexy Leader.
Oh, we're doing this again. Okay.
I like how
I
we just
don't
did
look
it
so
one at a time.
intimidating. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
With my like goofy grin. Not
me
so
too.
much.
Me too.
Oh man.
Just try doing the Kubrick stare with it.
I know, but I was too caught off guard.
Wait, can you guys do the Kubrick stare? No, I'm curious. So you tilt your head forward and then you look through your eyebrows.
I'm like, I should look at the camera. Why am I looking at myself on the screen? Like a dork. Oh well.
I can't keep a straight face after you said that.
Megan, who looked the creepiest, me or Ronald?
You might have done that, but I feel like you've been practicing.
Don't call me out like that. Because of the TikTok trend where people listen to the sound and then they practice a Kubrick stare. Ever since I saw it, I was like, I want to try it because
like, I need to master this.
Like any normal person,
as you do.
Like, I want to master my Kubrick stare because I'm.
Well,
is
how many
this
more
because
episodes do we have?
Tarkin was in these chapters, so we have to do our like villain pose?
Isn't he more like?
I feel like if we did the Kubrick stare to Tarkin, he would literally take off his boot and throw it at us.
Probably, you're right.
Like,
I feel like work on me.
For anything else, that would be too undignified. But if we tried that with him, he would just be like, you know what, I've had it, Chuck.
Yeah, because this is the Thrawn.
So that's the Thrawn. Okay.
Yeah. So the Tarkin.
He just looks displeased. He's just.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Anyway, nice little surprise to see him.
That was fun. Okay, guys, are you ready for the question?
Yeah, let's get into it.
So first question, what are your thoughts on Arinda's deal with Tarkin?
Thoughts on her deal? I liked that the kind of the big change that you could see in her, first with dealing with Moff Gotti, and then all the way to this new crazy incredible level of dealing with Moff Tarkin. Like, oh my gosh, she goes in there with confidence, like already analyzing the game, having a plan and a backup plan. And I'm like, girl, you've come so far. You're doing great, baby. Like, just to see the character growth from kind of this mid-rim yokel coming out here with big dreams and stars in her eyes, and then learning the hard way how to succeed in life on Coruscant, and to be that cold-blooded, backstabbing, do what it takes to get ahead. And now she's mastered it and it's actually working. So I'm like, that, oh man, what character growth. Like, you could actually see her learning process and see where she was before to where she is now. So to take those skills that she's picked up and betray her friends and get what she wants from Tarkin, like, who can say that they've done that? So I was impressed. I was like, yes, sweetie, do it. Get him. Get what you want. Get your stuff. So like, she knew what she was doing. She had, all the bait and knew exactly what she wanted, laid it out in a perfect pitch. Yeah. It was well executed, well done, just the kind of way that Tarkin would appreciate, I would think.
Well said. Took the words right out of my mouth. So this is this week's piggyback off of Megan's answers.
Yes, we're back.
Yeah, it's been a while. What can I say? Yes, finally learned her lesson, I guess, after being done wrong. I know you've been saying, Megan, a lot of the past weeks. She's not going to trust anybody, but she was still willing to give it one more shot with Atlas, with, her friends, and this new path that seemed like a good path that was going for her well. But she still didn't lose focus of the goal, as I said last week. And yeah, after she's got done wrong here, she quickly, it was like a shift, right? Like, you're reading a quick shift from this character, and it surprised me too, because like that's not a shift I was gonna that I had anticipated, like that she moved that quickly within, you know, five chapters, 4 chapters, whatever it was.
That's the thing. There's all
But
these time skips. It'll be like, it's been a year since, and I'm like, geez, Louise.
yeah,
Okay, if you say so.
but again, like, so the deal she made with Tarkin, it's like you're already making deals with one of the most, with the Grand Moff, right? And
Mm-hmm.
like that's so quick. Like, where did you pick up those negotiation skills? Was it like, I was thinking, was it the past job she had, or was it just really she learned her lesson and was just, I'm not gonna take no for an answer anymore. Like, I'm not gonna. So the way I read it, and this is a perfect way for me to say it, is she was no longer gonna listen to her family, which is back in Lothal, to her friends, and to her co-workers, or just even her acquaintances. And the best part about Arinda, and everybody can take you know, a page out of her book for this, is you listen to yourself. Don't listen to anybody else in life but yourself. Those are the best decisions you can make, right? Now you can have support from your friends, and you're always going to have support from your family and your closest acquaintances, but it's the trusting yourself, trusting the process will get you there. And look what it got her. It got her to becoming, from just Arinda Price, the negotiator, becoming Arinda Price, Governor Price. So man,
Governor.
this character, I hated you from Rebels, but man, in this book,
Mhm.
you're okay in my book.
Nice.
Jasmine, let's see it.
I know you
So-
hate her.
I actually felt kind of sad about all this. So hear me out. So, you know, she had dreams of, you know, going to Coruscant, making it big and all that. And she did care about her friends. And she was like, I know I can't trust people, but at least I could trust these two. And then little by little, that trust was chipped away to the point where she's like, screw everyone. It's all about
Mm-hmm.
me and my power. And from that perspective, it was just kind of sad because, you know, when they went to go arrest Jua here, and in the book it said like she had to fight back the tears in her eyes. And I was like, that's so sad that like the people who thought you were their friend, and it just, you know, she was like, was I ever a friend to you? And it just kind of felt like she was asking herself more that than Jua here. Because then remember what Jua here said? She said something along the lines of, it was wrong what they did to you. And it
Mhm.
seemed like she kind of went to the rebel side because she was like, this person I care about got messed up. And that's the last straw for me. So it felt like she was kind of doing it. I mean, not necessarily like completely for Arinda, but at least like Arinda was part of that decision.
Yeah.
And so that's why it just felt so sad that Arinda was like, I'm just going to be alone completely. I mean, you guys know me, like I have trust issues, but I still trust my friends. And the fact that she was just like, nope, it's all about me, my power as governor, it just felt kind of sad.
But they were using her. They were betraying her. That's why even when she wanted them, she thought these were the only two people I could trust. She started seeing little things here and there that they weren't telling her, that they were hiding, that were suspicious. And so the two people she thought she could trust turned out they were keeping secrets from her too.
But the
So
thing is, like, no one is perfect. No one is going to know their friend like 100%, you know?
yeah, but they were putting her into situations that they knew were going to be dangerous for her, and letting her be involved with them when they were involved with dangerous things. So she was right not to trust them. And it wasn't like they were completely innocent and she threw them under the bus for her own gain.
Yeah.
They
Well,
didn't trust her to bring them into their confidence of the whatever scheming they were doing on the side. And she knew they were up to something, so she couldn't fully trust them, though she still maintained a friendship with them, as shallow as it was. But she was right. She couldn't trust them. They were doing stuff behind her back. So
because like I know that they're not 100% innocent, but maybe it's just the way that, again, shout out to Mark Thompson, amazing, man. Maybe it was just the way that he read it in the audiobook, but just the emotion in both of their voices when she was being arrested, that's why it just felt so sad to me.
It is sad because I think she
Yeah.
wanted to be wrong.
Yeah.
I think she wanted to be like, no, I thought I couldn't trust them, but they were being true to me. They were really friends, but then she found out that her suspicions were correct, that her distrust was well placed. And that's probably just as heartbreaking to her because she thought, well, maybe I'm being too paranoid, or maybe I'm being too harsh. But it's like, oh no, they were hiding stuff from me too. They were going behind my back and using me. So it is sad.
Yeah, like I can't believe I called myself Driller at this point when I read these chapters. It's, the way I read him, I was kind of like disappointed, being, last week we were very like, wait, did we just get written into this? And then I'm like, yo, that ain't me. So
I don't remember if we did it on the episode. We looked up pictures from the comic of the 3 characters afterwards. And we're like, oh my gosh, it's us.
But it was disappointing to read Driller's part, and the moment he found out, was it oh, you're gonna be meeting with Tarkin, and then that did it for me. I was like, oh, this guy's not
He's up to
who
something.
I thought he was. Like, he's gonna end up using her, for his gain. Like, it's kind of like, Arinda, once you get your power with Tarkin, don't forget about me, because I didn't forget about you when you needed a job. Like, that's how I read Driller at that point. Again, when I was reading, like, did you feel that? It's like a cold breeze.
I thought you were gonna say it was an earthquake.
No, it was a cold breeze right there. That just,
I was gonna say, is it really? It's not okay. So I'm from different part of the state. So unless it's a 5.0, 5.5 or higher, I'm just not getting out of bed.
Oh yeah, if it's not into the 5s at least.
I'm like, it's not worth it.
Well,
that's why, like, sometimes there's a 4 point whatever, and usually it happens in the morning.
Yeah.
So me and the dogs, because my dogs sleep in my bed, we all just kind of look at each other and we just all go back to sleep. We're like, whatever.
Is this worth getting up? Is it gonna get bigger? No. Okay.
Nah.
we're back to it.
No, Ronald. The cold breeze is squarely in your haunted room.
I have the heater on.
No, I mean, it was a cold breeze right here. And it was very cold in this area.
Timothy Zahn is like, how dare you disrespect Driller like that?
It's the ghost of Driller. He was like, fight me.
No, it was
I can't do a guy's voice.
Come on, it was Arinda's cold shoulder.
Ooh.
Oh.
That's
She
it.
was frozen, man.
Like,
and like, that's what I love about Arinda right now, is that she was cold, and that's what my whole breeze thing was about, is Arinda being cold. And just cold heart is what you need when you need to get to the top of the empire. And that's what I was saying about, don't trust no friends, don't trust your family, trust yourself, and it's your best thing. Your gut instinct is your best instinct. So that shout outs to Arinda for, man, it's just, once you get to Rebels, I know we're not going to be friends then.
If you say so.
I don't know. If I watch it again, maybe we'll see it differently.
I wonder though if you
Yeah.
will have a different perspective on her and what it took to get her to that place and why she wanted it so bad.
That's true, because like her being, the governor of Lothal, like I was just very like, who is this? Just out of the blue, like they just writ her in the whatever season, second, third season. I'm like, out of nowhere, like, how are you already, like, you're good with Tarkin, you're good with Tarkin. I don't think they like Tarkin's name. Tarkin and Thrawn, so it's like, now we see why that is. That relationship that led up to the whole Tarkin conversation, that deal made. I mean, you couldn't have written that any better, Timothy Zahn. Salutes to you, sir. Very good chapters. I like this.
All set up. Well, what's the next question?
So how relieved were you guys when Eli finally got promoted?
Good for him. And I love that it was a nice, like, unorthodox jump of rank all the way straight on up there to lieutenant commander. And I'm like, yeah, that'll show him. So that's good. It was nice to, but I don't know. It wasn't satisfying because I don't know. I don't like this book. I'll just come right out and say it. It's so boring and contrived. And I know Timothy Zahn is better than this. So I'm like, I don't know. So they spent a long time making a big deal about how people were holding him back and not getting him a promotion. And then all of a sudden he gets a promotion. And for some reason, the people that were holding him back just don't hold him back anymore. Okay, good. They're still going to do the same things they always did in every other chapter. Like, it doesn't matter what the rank is. They still do the same things and they still have the same, like, people trying to block their way, and if it's not these people, it's other people, and they're blocking them in the same way. So I see absolutely no progress or development with the Thrawn Eli storyline. When their chapters come up, I'm like, oh gosh, here we go, give me back to Orinda. Like, at least there's things happen there and changes are made and there's like intrigue. This whole like side plot is the main plot of Thrawn and Night Swan and everything. I'm just like, can't with this. I don't care. So yeah, good for him. He got a promotion. I like it. It's satisfying. I do like that they ran into that pilot again that had no particular reason to be super snotty, but there you go. So now he's going to get his comeuppance. Hopefully Eli gave it to him, but of course it all happens off screen, not in a chapter. So I can assume he got his comeuppance. We'll see. But yeah, there we are.
Nice. Well, I took it a little bit differently. So let me start off where they already get the promotion from Tarkin. So, man, when he had said, "Oh, Arinda Price or Governor," well, he didn't say governor, but Arinda Price sends her regards. I pictured Eli's and Thrawn. Well, Thrawn, really, I don't think his face ever changes, and it's always just the grin. But for
just
Eli,
picture the same.
I was trying to picture, like, is this dude jumping inside of like his body? Like, what is his facial reaction to like him even just getting the title? And yes, it's like a big jump, and what a big jump for this guy. Like, to me, well deserved. And even though through all the pain and everybody saying, why would you stay in a position where you're not going anywhere? Just leave Thrawn. And everybody was not on Eli's side. And even you guys, I think, said one day, were like, Eli should go. Eli should have taken that promotion way back when. But I think back about that now, and his promotion back then, what would you have been? And then
I think it was higher ranking than
now.
what he is now.
I
think he would have been captain.
Oh, would he? Okay. Well, I would have taken where I know. And I think I related to him at this point. I'm not going to relate it to real life because I don't want to talk about real life, but he is probably close to something that I would have done. You stick it out and then you work your tail off and you're going to get what you deserve, right? And it's not about, I think now that I think about it, the promotion to him was not about to be better than anybody, to get the blazes of glory in a different position. His really was that I'm in a position that I was stuck in, and that is where I have to grow. And man, I don't know. I read it that way. I'm gonna leave it at that. He's well deserved this. And yeah, I'm gonna go back to the goon, because every time I don't call him the pilots, I don't call him lieutenant. And I would never call that guy lieutenant to his face when he forced Eli to call him lieutenant. That's a joke. I think, I wish Eli would have punched him and then he got, his higher rank. But man, yeah, when that goon showed up, I was just like, here we go again, man. But he held his ground, like he held his composure there, and I wanted to see more rage, I guess, more aggressiveness towards this goon. But hey, this goon got what he got and still there, and Eli is where he is now. So yeah.
I squealed with joy because I was like, finally, so long overdue. I hate that it took a deal like that to get him promoted, but I mean, like he said, like it was satisfying and he still got it and he jumped a lot of ranks. And I was like, good. You deserve it. Because like, because Thrawn was saying how, you know, Eli has gotten a lot better at problem solving, and then Eli has applied so much like skill and knowledge to all of their missions, and I was like, so long overdue. He has grown so much in their 3 years of service together, 3-4 years. So I was like, yeah, this is way long overdue.
He didn't seem particularly excited. I still think he just doesn't care. Like, this isn't what he wanted to do anyway. It's still not what he wants to do.
Well, remember, like, he was so shocked that he didn't even like listen to the end of the speeches, and like he missed their orders, and he was like, wow.
He was shocked. It was unexpected, but he wasn't excited or happy.
I don't know.
Like, I didn't get that impression. He's just like, wow, okay. Wonder what changed.
Maybe it is the audiobook, but like, he really did seem relieved, at least through the audiobook.
Relieved might be good. I would have liked to have heard more from his perspective, like what it meant to him, how it might change his prospects going forward, anything really. But it was just like, wow, I wonder why that happened. And then suddenly it's a year later and he's still just doing the same thing he always did. Just with a higher title now. I'm like, okay, so what was the point of that? I just don't get it. I don't know. This me being negative.
Well,
I wanted more.
Well, we got a few more chapters to figure out where he goes.
Or I wanted him to get it from his hard work, like Ronald said, like a payoff from him earning it somehow or proving himself somehow that they just couldn't deny anymore. Instead, it was from some back deal, somebody that he's never really talked to that pulled some strings somewhere. And I was like, I'm rooting for Arinda, so that's nice. But like for Eli, it wasn't as satisfying. I think like he didn't do something that made them say, we have to promote him. Like there's no way we can ignore it now, which would have been a little bit more satisfying. I don't know.
That's fair.
I love Eli. Like I want him to get the recognition, and not because somebody forced somebody to pin a new title to him, but nobody really recognizes him anyway. So
but
hopefully
that's the thing.
He will. We still got time.
I'll agree somewhat with you there. Like he's always going to be Thrawn's shadow, no matter what. Because even if them being on the same ship, and that scene, the part where Thrawn was like, so are we going to get, or no, Eli was going to go say, are we going to get more stormtroopers, some more Imperial officers to, to back us? And Thrawn was just like, no, you and me.
It's just us.
Just you and me are going to do this. And at that point, I was like, is he testing him to really see if Thrawn believes he's going to always, if he will be good by himself, or is he always going to be in the shadow of Thrawn? And I think if he's going to be always by Thrawn's side, he's always going to be, like you said, like I think he's always going to be the aide to Thrawn in his shadow, but just now with a better title. So I'll take it. Like you're still doing the same thing.
He's still an aide.
You're doing the same job, but you're getting paid the same thing, which in payment, I
don't know what he's getting paid.
I put that together with rank, so I think, okay, why not, right? I mean,
it's not a bad thing.
I wouldn't want to stay ensign all my life next to Thrawn when Thrawn's already like
freaking
up there,
Commodore.
Admiral, or like they're like, Ron, you're still ensign.
What
like,
are you?
Anyway, but hey, stay on target. Let's go.
Sorry. Yes.
All right. Last question.
Let's go.
If you need me to repeat it, just let me know, because I couldn't figure out how to word it.
I'll try to pay attention really hard.
So, seeing the progression of Eli and Thrawn's work relationship and friendship, what do you think will happen to them as their careers progress?
Oh, good question.
Good question.
Because we still got another 10 chapters left?
Yeah.
Time for stuff to happen.
When I was reading it on my Kindle, and I'm like, we're only 60% done? What in the world? There's a lot of book left. But we've covered so many years worth of activity. So it's going. I see.
We're going.
I don't know. Either it's been so gradual or or it's just me being nitpicky and finding things I don't like, but I don't see them having progressed that much. The only difference I can see between them when they first met and them now is that Eli seems to trust him a little bit with a little bit less hesitation and is not quite as bitter about it as he was, but they still have the same dynamic together. They still talk to each other exactly the same way, and Thrawn is still solving problems while Eli's trying to figure out how he's solving the problem and be as helpful as he can and solve what he can on the side. So that's great. They make a great team. And I think Eli's got this capacity to understand the way Thrawn thinks more than other people, because he's got this this mind that works in like shipping ways where he sees patterns, he sees numbers and can put them together and shift them and organize them in ways where he can recognize patterns the way that Thrawn does. Thrawn does it with art. Eli can do it with a shipping manifest, but it's the same skill in the brain. And so that's what makes them really useful to each other, because they can think the same way. So I just imagine they'll just keep getting promoted, keep getting more ships, keep solving minor problems and pissing off people and getting called in for a court martial and then relieved and getting another promotion over and over and over again. So I don't know. It's just the same old, same old.
Okay, I'll agree with you in many of the points there. Like how you said about patterns and strategy. You're right. I agree, and I think these two as a pair is there's always two, and this is where
What are you saying?
I think the Emperor specifically made it this way so that Theron could be like a mentor to Eli, right? And hopefully,
He's like his Padawan.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. I just didn't want to say any Jedi. Because the Jedi must
Okay.
end. But no, you're right. So it's like, as every time I read it, I always think, is Thrawn questioning him, or is he belittling Eli whenever he asks a question to Eli, right? And then it's kind of like, what is that thing where if you said somebody to a child and you said, "Hey, are you sure you want that? Which one do you want?" And then they pick that, and then you try to make them second guess what they're doing. Yeah, you're trying to make them second. I feel at times Thrawn is doing that just to kind of, no, you should be thinking about it the other way, Eli, kind of thing.
What
And
if?
give him that chance. Yeah. So, yeah, he is a mentor to him. Where this relationship goes, you're right. I think it would still be. I don't know, because I don't know what happens if Eli if he even makes it to the end of his book or makes it to the trilogy. I don't know, but let's just say this. So let's go with the I don't go with Thrawn by the end of this book. I think it's like everything else that we've been saying in other books. You only go as far as with your friends, as far as they can let you grow. There's gonna be a turn point, possibly, if they do split, and it's gonna be like Darman and Etain. Like, we're gonna have that whole scene again. Like, I can't go with you, but like, I want to go with you, right? But I think Eli at some point will have to spread his wings somewhere and really just go out on his own, because and this is why I say this, because it was quick for Arinda to become governor already. She's moving at a high pace where she's governor already. So I already know what's coming. It's rebels already. So I
Yeah, but
don't
she
know if
wanted that. What does Eli want? I don't know if he wants this like combat mission. Like he just
what
wanted
if he wants to
to.
be behind a desk kind of thing
Yeah,
for the
basically.
Empire, right? I don't know. Well, I mean, I'm rooting for this guy, but at the same time is like, there might be that point where he has to spread his wings somewhere in the Empire, right? This is, if you were comparing Arinda and family, and she's trying to get somewhere, he was trying to do the same thing, right? He has his parents that he has to take care of. Like, you're right. Like, does he want to die in battle, or does he
Man,
want to
he's getting
be,
shot at now. That was never part
yeah,
of his plan.
or does he want to be pushing papers on the Death Star? I don't know, but this, he's at where he's at. He's always going to defend Thrawn. That relationship will never change. So it's going to be like, if they do split, it'll be a good long distance friendship. that will never change. And I like this. I like them.
Well put.
Well, I can't answer the question because I know what happens in the
Cheater.
I don't know what happens between, but I know what happens in the end, so I don't want to.
I know
Oh,
you've
don't
got it
tell
as
me.
a poster on your wall for crying out loud.
Oh,
So
don't tell me then.
I couldn't help it.
it's a good poster.
I am in love with that poster. Gosh darn it.
Yeah.
But
But, like-
keep it in mind that
Mhm.
when you have that poster, and then let me know what that is, because like I
I'll
want to.
explain it at the end of the
Yes,
book.
You'll know by the
yeah,
end.
whenever.
Yeah,
Okay,
by
there
the
you
end.
go.
By the end, it'll.
We'll leave it at that. We got 10 chapters to go.
Yeah, because like I think I said in the first episode. So like I mean I didn't know every single thing that happened in the book or trilogy, but like I knew key points because of Tumblr from like years ago. Because these books are like not new.
Yeah.
So that's why like I knew some stuff that happened, not everything. So there's a lot of surprises that I'm getting with the book. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. And then there's a couple times where I'm like, oh, already did this happen. But then like
That's what that was.
the build up to it is really fun. So I really do what I've been doing is I listen to the audiobook while I read the actual book. And that's why like, man, Mark Thompson, I will never stop praising this man because the emotions,
It's
the
good
inflection, the
performance.
tones, the voice, everything, just it really feels like I am there and I'm part of everything. And so that's why like I think that's why I interpret some things a little bit differently than you guys. Because I get to hear it and then like the sound effects and everything just really add to it. So yeah.
Well, I'll keep making my own voices, and shout outs to Timothy Zahn again for putting in the Wookiees in these chapters.
That's right. There
it
were
was, good to-
Wookiees.
Yeah.
We always got to shout that out whenever we see that in
Yes.
books. It's great. It was a good homage.
Yeah. Nice
The
little
prisoners, or were they
Wookiees.
slaves?
That's a loaded term according to Thrawn. So but yeah, it was. I forgot about that. Nice to see some Wookiees. Or hear about them
sad
anyway.
how we heard about them, but they're there.
They sounded like they were doing all right.
Okay, Thrawn.
They were taking care of themselves.
Okay.
Taking care of business. What are we reading for next week?
We are going to be reading chapters 21 through 25.
21 through 25 for next week.
Nice.
Okay. I expect to see some more people in blues. Why was I the only one this week? What's going on? Yeah, you wanted to because yeah, that's true. We had a lot of imperial activity this week.
You can screenshot this.
That's you're over here. That's the stuff. Yeah, right there. Empire. All right. Well, if you're not reading along with us, you should at least be gaming along with us because Ronald has been going hog wild on his PlayStation 4. So what are you, or 5, or what are you even playing now?
4. We're still on 4.
Okay.
We're still on 4, and we are still on Battlefront. Let's see. We're gonna try to see something new. So let's pick a day. I'm gonna say Wednesday. Check out our social media for something special.
Ooh.
It might be a new game. But check out every Mondays as we play. We're going to continue to play Forced Unleashed 2 and finish that off. But Wednesdays we'll play a new game. Probably Fridays we'll do Battlefront 2. So that's how we'll try to schedule this week. If that works well, if it doesn't work well, we'll just go back to gaming.
Battlefront, Forced Unleashed, and this is on our Facebook channel, right?
Yes, this is on Facebook channel. Wednesday, so Twitch Monday, Facebook on we might just stay tuned.
Just keep an eye
Monday
on all the things
on our social media.
Sounds like a plan. Everywhere. Sexy Wookiees everywhere. All right, well, now you've all got your assignments, so we'll have to blast off for this week. So Sexy Wookiees out. Sexy Wookiees.